Oh boy. Just realized we're on the collection episode.
Yeah!
But I wasn't wrong then. You will get to see the Triad Thunder Charge Shot, which I think I had mentioned last video.
Yes, you did.
Cool! Well then, we're gonna see it in just a moment.
I am keeper of the timeline.
My god. I'm in the presence of a nerd.
That hurts.
So, the cross-charge shot bolts are useful for getting past the drill wall guys, because the side or the wave shots will actually kill them in one hit, which is really nice. It basically means they're the equivalent of at least 3 of your second tier charges. But yeah, so Triad Thunder's charge shot is an Earthquake Ground Punch, which seems like it'd be more Spark Mandrill's thing than the fish that was shooting stuff along the ground, but either way, it's pretty cool. It actually makes the screen rumble and stuff. I don't know if our frame rate picked it up properly or not.
Does it have any use outside of getting that item?
Yeah, you use it again over here, and then you use it again in another stage to get some items, but it is actually a pretty potent attack. I don't end up using it very often, just because I don't think stopping is very practical. But, so that's a thing that those do. Or that the gravity well shots do. They'll basically just, and I don't know if it's on the entire screen or if it's just within a certain radius around it, but it does do a pretty hefty deal. Like, it's one of those weapon types where if it will kill an enemy, it will kill the enemy, and if it won't do any damage, it won't do anything at all. So, like that. Which is kind of neat. It's just, I wish there was a little bit more of a firm indicator of what it would or wouldn't do.
Ray Splasher seems to fuck up those tanks pretty good.
Yeah, Ray Splasher I'm discovering more and more as I play through is a really useful weapon. What I like about it against those drill tanks, which may or may not have a name, is that it'll pierce through the drills, which are normally a shield, which make it really annoying to fight with your regular charge shots. Dremel W.
Dremel.
Ha!
I don't think that's what they were going for.
No, I'm sure it wasn't.
Hey, Dr. Light.
The final capsule. Well, sort of. Alright, so speedrunners hate this helmet. Click here to see why. I like this helmet a lot, even though it is effectively basically the same thing in like wide use as the helmet from X2. I just like the visual concept for it. The reason speedrunners don't like it is because it stops your gameplay. So, like, as soon as you get it, you basically, the entire rest of the game is slower. But just from a functional standpoint, I think it's a really neat take on, like, finding items. Basically, like it was saying, it taps into satellites, because of course it does, and then shows you an actual grid map of the stage you're on, which is just, like, super cool to me, just because I like that kind of... I like cartography and things like that. Especially when it comes to games, so... I don't think there's another X game that does anything even remotely similar to that. What it also does, which you might have just seen there, is it will show you the items that are on stages for completion. If it's red, I don't have it yet. If it's white, it means I do have it. So it makes the rest of completion pretty simple. So there's 2 items on this stage right now. I will only be getting one of them. So now it's time to talk about that thing you were asking me about earlier, off screen or off audio, which is the chip system. So, unlike the first 2 X games, there are 8 capsules instead of 4, not counting the secret ones. What the other 4 are enhancement chips. Each one of them will power up a function of one of your armor parts. You can only have one equipped at any given time. What they do individually is the helmet one will make it so that if you're standing still, it'll recharge your health slowly, like really slowly if you're standing still. I just said that. And your sub-tanks. So if you're willing to stand around and wait, because it really does take a while. I think it takes like almost 5 minutes to fill up all of your sub-tanks. So like if we were to do that in this, I don't think we do. It would be a fast forward. The arm one gives you the hypercharge, which is kind of like the Giga Crush, which you'll notice is absent in this one in how it fills up. But instead of giving you a single burst attack, it's just a stockpile of charge shots. The detriment to that, in my opinion, I never really use it, is you can't really rapid fire them because you'll just keep doing the cross charge shot over and over, which is and isn't useful. Also, real quick, just because it's on screen, this is the Frog Ride armor. This is completely worthless on the land. As soon as you're in the water, though, you can jump like 5 times, and your torpedoes home in on enemies. So it's pretty cool. Like, it's a little dinky, and sometimes it doesn't really respond properly, and it is really only useful twice.
It has an open canopy. That seems like a poor design decision.
Don't worry about it. So this is a neat underwater thing too. That's Frost Shield's charge shot. Everything that Frost Shield fires, its normal shot and its charge shot, get larger when they're underwater. So we just got the Kangaroo Ride Armor chip, which is the other item that we got. So yeah, the Hypercharge and the helmet radar thing, or a healing thing. The body chip gives you further reduced damage. It makes the force field even more powerful. And the leg chip lets you air dash twice.
That sounds useful.
It is probably the best one. The drawback to those, besides only being able to have one equipped at a time, is if you want the full good 102% thing that I keep mentioning, you can't have any of them equipped. Because once you have one equipped, you can go to the capsules and swap them out, from what I understand, which I think is pretty cool. Also, the capsules are red, or like sort of pink red, as opposed to the light blue. But once you have one, it completely makes it so that the secret capsule in this game is gone. And what the secret capsule does is it gives you all of them. And also it turns your armor gold, which is really neat. Once you have that, then you can get Zero's sword, which is the 101 and 102% respectively. So that's what the question marks are, which I always thought was neat. That it's like, oh man, what is this new technology? And honestly, I guess those kind of things come back a little bit in like X7 and 8 with like the multiple upgrade thing. But, and there's other supplementary things too, but I really like the idea of just the 8 capsules and like the fixed power-ups and stuff like that. I think that's a really, really cool idea.
So, I noticed the streetlights were actually on this time around in this stage, and I don't think they were when you originally came through.
Power plant!
Is that literally the only change?
As far as I'm aware in this level, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, I know.
It's disappointing.
I don't know if it does anything else. Oh, and so the Kangaroo has... The Kangaroo Ride Armor in this is basically the Drill Ride Armor from X2, except when you punch, instead of doing the drill dash forward, it shoots out like an extendo reach thing, which is whatever.
It's a thing.
Yeah, that's the only time I will ever use that, because shortly I will be getting the last Ride Armor, and it is arguably the best one, and that is on the last stage, which obviously we're doing right now. Also, it is time for me to read a boss title. This is one of my favorites. I think that intro. I think it's great.
He has such a tiny face.
Yeah.
So tiny.
Tiny little face. Destroyer of the Seven Seas. Crush Crawfish.
Did we get all of them? I don't remember.
Yeah, we did.
Sweet.
I did it.
Oh man, all the items are like right at the start of this level.
Yeah, this one is super easy, as far as completion is concerned. I always end up bypassing this one the first time by accident. So this little X platform, I think it's a unique tile. You use Charged Triad Thunder again and punch it, and it explodes the shit out of the platform for, reasons. And you come down here and you get the Hawk Ride Armor.
Yeah.
Which, oh man, the Hawk is so good. Like, I don't really know why you would use the Kangaroo over the Hawk at any point. It might jump higher or something. I've never bothered to check. Because this one doesn't punch, it just shoots missiles. And also you can fly in it, so it's just like, oh, this is the best one! Like, there's literally no arguing that this is just the coolest ride armor in it. And coincidentally, the model kit that I have can either be this or the Chimera. You just switch them out. And it has little rapid-fire spring-loaded disc things that you put together.
Nice.
It's dumb and, 90s as fuck. So there we go. That's 100% of items. I'm all good. All that's left now is to fight Byte and this boss, and then it's on to the fortress stages and 102% completion.
Oh right, Byte's a thing.
Yeah, he's about to be a thing right now.
God, he was really spaced out from the bit.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just because of the stage order I took or what, but I think you're guaranteed to fight both of them no matter what you do. But yeah, so he's weakest to Tornado Fang. And they each have 2 weaknesses, like I said. Tornado Fang, in my opinion, is the easiest because he's a big target and he doesn't, like, jump at all. So you can just, like, ram him through with those. Just make a wall of them. That's a double tap shot, by the way, if anybody was confused or curious.
What's the chud shot?
It basically makes it so that you just hold a drill out in front of you, and I can't think of any reason why it'd be more useful than just shooting one of the other drills. It's like... It's the melee range one that doesn't seem to be super great, but I've never really stress-tested it, so I could be completely wrong. But yeah, basically what he does is he'll fire that magnet down, and depending on whether or not the blue or the red side is facing outwards, it'll either suck you into the wall or kind of push you away from it.
How can this great power can be generated?
Yeah. So remember earlier when I said this one was a little bit outsourced? It is very possible that that has to do with that. I like that he does the whole honorable warrior thing at the end, though. Also, this is one of the very few boss fights where I will end up getting immediately sucked out of a boss door because I come right up against it, which is a pain. I don't know if he drops a big health or not, but usually they do just to troll me.
Woo!
Bye. So, that's all the story significant stuff out of the way, unless you count the regular 8 bosses, which, I mean, you kind of don't. The reason I'm being cautious right here is that's an invisible hole, and if you drop down to where the vial teleporter on this stage would be, I don't think it's actually open at this point since I already beat it, but it would be down there if you wanted to do it from a different stage for whatever reason. The other one that I can think of off the top of my head is in Tunnel Rhino's stage. It's either Tunnel Rhino or Blizzard Buffalo, but there's a false pit that you kind of slide down and then it's in a little crevasse to the left.
Well, hey, submarines.
Yeah.
I like submarines.
This submarine is huge inside.
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks fine. This is normal inside of submarine.
You don't understand. It is perfectly stock submarine. So this is an annoying spot, just to think about from a design perspective. It's another drill spot, but it doesn't have any visual indication that that's what you're supposed to do there. All of the other drill points have cracked walls, or just anything like that. And that one doesn't for some reason. So,
Rick, can you stop dancing on the spikes, please?
Nah. Oh hey, it stops missiles. Neat, I didn't notice that. So there's a whole bunch of health power-ups over there, but I decided, I don't really feel like taking a whole bunch of damage right now. I'm just gonna leave.
By taking
but I would have taken more damage. I always end up dying on my way to that thing because of those spikes and the enemy bullying and stuff. So it's like, whatever. Also, are you ready for the hardest boss fight in the whole game?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to gird your loins and deal with it because, it's over. Don't worry about it.
I wasn't prepared.
It's okay. It's over now.
I do like that you basically just sunk the submarine.
Yeah. Also, it kind of always looks like the sprite's gotten stretched somehow, or squished or something. Because the valve handles are no longer perfect circles, but I don't know if that's just me not paying attention or something.
I was...
It's okay. But yeah, so now you're climbing up to the bridge. What I like about this is that this basically means that that would be a ceiling drop, and you'd be falling straight down.
I kind of wish there was more, elements in the background that made it obvious that the whole thing had been turned on its side.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool.
It's pretty much just generic hallways outside of that generator thing.
Yeah.
God, he has massive hands.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage, too. He's, I think, one of the stronger individual hitters as far as 8 Mavericks go. Like the initial 8 bosses. He'll do, that. And you can see that even with my body armor, that immediately did 2 bricks of damage as opposed to, Wheel Gator's 1, and then he has to, go for a much longer time. Yeah. And if you don't get out of that, he'll just keep doing it for a while. It's honestly really intimidating as far as standard boss fights go. I like him. I think he's pretty cool.
Oh, those bubbles aren't animated in the background.
No, they
0 out of 10 will not play.
What kind of next-gen garbage is this? Also, this is the game that has just all of the really cool-sounding weapon names. So, this one is, you get Spinning Blade, then there's, Acid Burst and Gravity Well and shit like that. Tornado Fang, it's just, all of these metal-as-fuck weapons. Also,
I
Dr.
we're
K's
back in this room.
Yeah, the boss shutters are gone now. I actually think it'd be pretty cool if they were still there. Because as far as I'm aware, this is basically where you rescue X.
Yeah, it looks pretty much the same.
I actually like to imagine, now that I think about it, that those boss shutters are like siege things. Like the bosses come in and actually like plant them down to like secure their location or something like that. So like they blow those walls out and then just hold them up like they're barricading themselves in or something.
That's the in-universe explanation for boss shutters.
I did it! That's my headcanon, guys. That's... If you take anything away from my informative series, let it be that.
God damn it.
Clearly, it's the most important thing.
So we're figuring out that Sigma's a thing now? Is that?
Basically, it's inferred. He doesn't really say it directly. But, yeah, he's like, Dr. Doppler is building a battle body. And I looked at it, and it just doesn't look like he's going to be able to deal with it. But they all read that already. I think it's neat, though, that it's kind of like this kind of... What? Like, why is he doing this? The whole, like, research behind it. I don't know. It's neat. Yes, Zero, you will do it. You have no idea how much you will participate.